I'm going to make these into these, stick them on the lathe, see if I can turn it. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the workshop. Thank you for joining me. Last week I had to re-roof my shed. We had some terrible winds, terrible rains, and to be honest with you, my roof on the shed was shot to pieces. I went out and I bought this OSB to redo the roof with, and unfortunately I bought a bit too much. Kind of meant to do that, so I'd have some left over for a project. Now what am I expecting? I'm expecting this to be a nightmare. I'm expecting, as soon as I stick a tool into this thing, I'm expecting it just to explode all over the place. This is probably going to be a disaster, okay? I've never done this before, but we're going to give it a bash, see what happens. Well, that's enough for me. I'm going to chop these up, get them glued. I think we're pretty good. So I've cut a dovetail recess in here. This will take the jaws of the chuck when I flip it around, and then expand into that hole and hopefully hold it nice and tight for me. I've got a really nice profile here, a couple of high spots maybe, but we'll see how the sandpaper gets on. Might have to revisit that with a tool or two, but we shall see how it sounds. I've left this shoulder kind of low because I sort of like the proportions that I've managed to achieve here, and I think if I pull this shoulder right up to the rim, I will lose this really nice delicate curve that I've managed to get. All I'll do is I'll just take away this thickness when I spin it over, so this top piece will probably be lost. There's probably one sheet of wood too many, but that's okay. It will all become shavings. We'll get shot of it that way. Okay, this is how good I am at cutting segments. This is the ring I've come up with. It's relatively close fitting in most places. I've got a few gaps, but hopefully some glue will sort that out. Anybody want to count along with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This was supposed to be a 16 segmented ring, so that's how bad I am at cutting segments. It fits together and we're missing a segment. Classic. Any of you know or can give me any tips, I'd be most appreciative. But as it turns out right now, I'm a genius in getting it wrong, so wrong in fact that it works. Unbelievable. there we go, we've got the segmented ring on there. It's used every single clamp I've got. It's clamped for dear life. It's actually snapped the board that it's clamped to, because I put so much pressure on it, but it's holding steady, so hopefully when that glue goes off and dries, that we should have a nice secure ring that we can turn. Well, with that in mind, Gorilla, the challenge is over to you. Okay, well, it definitely should have stuck. Let's take this band off, get it back on the lathe, and we'll see how it turns. Awesome! Whoops. Get rid of the chuck. cup of tea, let all the dust settle, and now we can get to finishing this. It's actually smoothed out beautifully. It's really, really smooth. I never thought it would be this smooth because OSB's really generally quite nasty to work with, but really pleased with how that's come out. The shape on it's gorgeous. It's very delicate. It's quite light. So now we've just got to put the finishing touch on and put some finish on it. Now what I've chosen to use is this tung oil from Chestnut. Again, I'm not sponsored by them, but I just tell you the stuff that I use, that I've seen other people use, because it works. However, Chestnut, if you're listening, if you ever want to sponsor me, come at me, bro. I'm happy. Now, I've never used tung oil before, but I have used boiled linseed oil, so I'm going to assume that it's relatively similar to that. And it's a case of just splodging a bit on a towel or on a cloth, and then just spreading it around. Right, here we go. Oh, it's quite thick. I don't know how much of this I'm going to need, so obviously more than that. Oh man, look at those colours come out. Now the reason for using oil is because I want it to penetrate through all the layers, rather than put a wax on the outside of it, which will only do the bits that it touches. I don't know if I'm explaining that terribly well, but I know what I mean. But I mean, that's just brought the colour out beautifully. And if we flip it over in contrast, you can see how much more character comes out when those colours start to pop. That's really beautiful. Really beautiful. I'm so pleased with that. I'm so pleased with that. That's awesome. And my segmented ring held up. I can't believe it. First ever segmented ring, and it's come out really well. Beautiful. Oh, it's marvellous. I'm so happy. So this is going to take a couple of coats, and although so then, can't speak. So this is going to take a couple of coats, and then I'm going to flip it over, do a couple of coats on the back, and then we'll be finished. Right, so there it is. I mean, I cannot believe, bloody phone. Shut up. Always forget to put my phone on silent. Right, so there it is. I cannot believe something so beautiful has come out of something so horrible and grotty. Those of you who are not going to get to touch this, the sides are lovely and smooth. It's sanded really well, incredibly well. I'm so surprised. But this used to be something that used to bore people's lofts out with, or be a floor in a garage or in a shed or something. And look at it. I mean, it's just really interesting and loads of character. And I think the oak rim around the top just makes it pop. And this will probably be used for something like, I don't know, a fruit bowl or something, a centerpiece on a table, but I'm in love with it, absolutely in love with it. It is beautiful, and it's so smooth to the touch. Even the bottom's got a really nice profile. I'm blown away, absolutely blown away. I think I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think this is the best thing I've ever made. This OSB just turns off like it's made out of butter. Shavings everywhere. It's quite rough on your hands. I mean, you know, they're coming off at some speed, and they are quite chippy and shardy. Shardy even a word? I hope you enjoyed watching this one being made. I'm really happy with it. I hope you like it. If you liked it, drop us a comment in. I'd really appreciate that. Give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and join me again down here in the workshop. Don't forget to come back soon. Come and see me again in the workshop, and we'll, I don't know, we'll have a bash at making something else. Right, have a good one, everybody. Much love. Catch you later. Be good to each other.